After all the nice things that have been said about me, I think I'd be better off just sitting down. And although I do have to say to my friends in the executive office and on the Board of Higher Education that they need to keep in mind that an allegory is for illustration. It is not a criticism. So don't get too excited. UND School of Medicine and Health Science, or What I Learned from Rudyard Kipling and James Orchard Halloway Phillips, two English writers from the late 19th century. In 1898, Rudyard Kipling wrote a poem called The Explorer, in which he addressed the problems facing the pioneers of his world. When Kipling penned these words, I think he might have been writing about North Dakota's response to a situation that occurred 86 years ago. And I was so nervous that the dean was going to mention the story I'm going to mention, and I was getting very nervous, but we made it. And this is what he said, what Kipling said, quote, "But what sense is there in struggling, in striving, in forging ahead? It's the edge of cultivation. The trails run out and stop. There's no sense in going further. The timid, the cautious, the perplexed, they have always halted at the edge of cultivation. But the ambitious, the curious, the daring, they sailed forth to carve out these new roads that we now travel. The state capitol burned down 86 years ago. The legislature didn't stop, as Kipling warned, at the edge of cultivation, but carved out new roads. They replaced a Capitol building with something not just for the 30s and 40s, but they built for tomorrow. In 2013, your legislature had one of those rare opportunities to recreate the vision and daring of the 1931 legislature by not stopping at the edge of cultivation, but constructing a medical school for tomorrow, not just for today. We need to remember their forethought and vision from 1931 because it is around you today. And now to James Orchard Halloway Phillips. You might not know him unless you are a member of POEM, Garrison Keillor's professional organization of English majors. Halloway Phillips is credited with publishing The Three Little Pigs. If you were closely following the history of this new building, you know exactly where I'm going. Like the characters in this folktale, there were three government entities that had to work on this project. They were the Board of Higher Education, the governor's office, and the legislature. In addition to the rule of three, there was another rule of three, which was there were three options presented: a remodel costing $39 million, a remodel and addition costing $68 million, and a brand new medical school costing roughly $124. Like the first little pig, the Board of Higher Education decided to ask for a medical school built of straw because it only cost $39 million. The governor's office responded, not by the hair of our chinny chin chin, and they asked the legislature to provide $68 million for a new medical school built out of sticks. I think you know where the allegory is going to end. It was now time for the legislature to do its traditional huffing and puffing. And we did. We decided to construct an entirely new medical school of North Dakota manufactured Hebron bricks for $124 million. Was it because we were wiser? Not really. In large part, it was due to the meticulous planning by the School of Medicine, the committee, the Board of Higher Education, and lots of people, most of whom I think you think are going to all speak today. The secret sauce, though, in this whole legislative arena were the tag team efforts of Dean Josh Wynn and Dave Molman. They would be a credit to the WWE. We're here today to salute, and I want to salute all of those who made this happen, but especially the 106 men and women of the 63rd Legislative Assembly who voted yes on May 3rd, 2013, voting not to stop at the edge of cultivation, as Kipling warned, but daring to carve out this new road, and with very little huffing and puffing.
Thanks, Roy.